especially the legacy of books written by former spooks, with their personal accounts of how they'd practiced their trade. We dealt with ghosts, ghasts, boggarts, and witches, all manner of things from the dark. So we relied on books and notebooks a lot. Our careful records were vital. We looked to the past in order to prepare for the future.
"So those are my wishes,"
ended the spook very firmly. Mr. Potts adjusted the glasses on the bridge of his nose and coughed to clear his throat. "I'll read it back to you, Mr. Gregory. Please interrupt if you have anything to add or feel that I have not accurately recorded those wishes." The spook nodded, and Mr. Potts began to read very slowly, with hardly a trace of a county accent. He sounded really posh. He was obviously an incomer who had been born and educated down south. "I leave my 2 main houses at Chippenden and Anglesark to my apprentice, Thomas Ward, including all fixtures, fittings, books, and tools of the trade. They remain his as long as he lives, on condition that he practices the trade of spook for as long as he is able. In his own will, he may only leave them to another spook, and on these same conditions." I was sad to hear those words. It made me feel as if my time as the spook's apprentice was almost over. But I took a deep breath and tried to think positively. Our time together might be drawing to a close, but surely we had another couple of years, time to complete my apprenticeship properly, and then perhaps continue when I was a fully trained spook, so that I could take some of the burden off his shoulders. "I grant the use of my 3rd house, north of Castor, which I inherited from William Arkwright, to Judd Brinskall, for as long as he practices as a spook in that location. In the event of his death or early retirement from the trade, that property, with its library, will revert to the ownership of Thomas Ward on the same terms stipulated for my other properties." Bill Arkwright had died fighting the dark in Greece. Now Judd Brinskall, a previous apprentice of the spook, had taken up residence in Bill's old watermill and was attempting to deal with the water witches there. Mr. Potts gave a little cough.
Is that correct, Mr. Gregory?"
"Aye, it's correct," my master confirmed. "What about your other financial affairs? Have you any income to dispose of?" The spook shook his head.
"There's nothing significant, Mr. Potts. This is not a trade that makes a man rich. But if money is in my possession at my death, I leave that to my apprentice, Master Ward."
"Very well." Potts made a further short note before packing up his papers, pushing back his chair, and rising to his feet. He took his pocket watch from his waistcoat and glanced at the time before tucking it away again. "I will write this up in the proper manner and return here next week so that you may sign the document." The 2 men shook hands, and then it was my duty to escort the lawyer through the garden and off the premises. Otherwise he would have been in danger from the spook's pet boggart, which guarded against intruders, both human and otherwise. After setting Mr. Potts safely on his way, I returned to the library to find my master still sitting in the same position. He was slumped in his chair, staring down at the tabletop. He had aged a lot during the past 2 years. His beard was now totally white and his face gaunt. He probably felt that his life was drawing to a close. That, no doubt, was why he wanted to put his affairs in order. He certainly did not look happy. In a few moments he was going to feel a lot worse. Alice had asked me to keep her return and work with Grimalkin secret, but I'd been feeling guilty about it. My master was planning to entrust me with his property and his work after his death, whenever that might be. There were important things that I had to confess, things that would anger and dismay him, and I felt that now was the right time.
"Well, lad, that's one more thing sorted out,"
he said, giving me a weary smile. "There's something I've not told you," I blurted before I could change my mind. "I already know the details of the ritual for destroying the Fiend." My master stared at me for a few moments without speaking, looking far from pleased.
"In that case, you've lied to me, lad. You've told me that the details would only be revealed to you when Alice returned with the 3rd blade."
"I'm sorry."